Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is the lesson for 5.1b. Yesterday we did A. If you remember, all we did to check solutions is we plugged points into the x and the y to see if they were true. And if they were both true, we said yes. If even one was false, we said no. And then I had you guys try a few. And then we looked at a graph like this, where we graphed using the y-intercept, which is, again, where you plot the point on the y-axis. And then our slope, which was -2/1, so from there down 2, right 1, down 2, right 1, and it's doing it over and over. And then for the second line, again, we graphed it at -1 for the y-intercept on the y-axis, and then used our slope of 4/1 to go up 4/1, and we found our point of intersection. There's always going to be a nice, clean point of intersection on these graphs. Okay, we're going to do this again, but when it's in this form. When it's in this form, well, if we just get it to y equals mx plus b, then we know that m is the slope, which is our rise over run, and we know that b is our y-intercept, which is where we put it there on the y-axis. So I'm just going to split these two up. I've got x plus y equals 6, and to solve this for y, we have to get rid of this x, so we would minus x to both sides. Now I really don't care how you write this, if it's 6 minus x or negative x plus 6, just know that the number next to the x is where we get the slope from. I'm going to write it in mx plus b form so that I can say, okay, my slope is -1/1 and my y-intercept is 6. So I'm going to go graph that up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 right there, and then down 1, right 1, down 1, right 1, and I'm just going to put a bunch of dots there and then connect them. Just a second, I might go out of screen for a second here. Okay. All right, so in my other line, I'm going to have 2x minus y equals 9. Okay, and then I'm going to, you know what, I feel like that's not going to show up as well. I'll do it on my graph though. I'm going to minus 2x to both sides. Those will cancel. I get negative y, that doesn't go away, and remember that just means -1y, right? Equals, again, mx plus b. If that was a negative, I'd just have a minus sign there. It's not, but it's going to end up that way because I have to get rid of this -1 now. Divide by negative. Now over here, y was already solved, so we didn't have to worry about this step. But on this problem, and as you will see on this problem down here, you're going to have to get rid of that other number there by dividing every term by it. Those will cancel. Y equals a negative divided by a negative is a positive 2x, and then minus 9 because a positive divided by a negative. Okay, you can do all those in your calculator just like we'll talk about down here. Now this right here gives you a slope of 2/1 and a y-intercept at -9. So I'm going to take my red pen here, plot this again right here on the y-intercept. That's where we always start these problems, and go up 2/1, and I'm just going to keep doing it till I get to the line, right? Up 2/1, up 2/1, up 2/1, up 2/1. There he is, right there. Okay, and that point is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. Over 5, up 1. Now, we can check this. It's pretty easy to check this, right? Just plug in the x and the y value of 5 and 1 into x and y. So here you get 5 plus 1 equals 6. Yeah, that works. Here I get 2 times 5, which is 10, minus 1, and sure enough, I get 9. That works. So my solution, 5, 1, is the answer. Okay? Let's go try this on a couple more. If, again, it's in y equals mx plus b form like this, then we can just go right to graphing. I'm going to do this one pretty quickly because it's just for this first line we're going to do in blue here. I would have a y-intercept at -1. I'd have a slope of 1/1. There's nothing there. So I'm going to start at -2 again, right there, and go up 1/1, up 1/1, and keep doing that a few more times here. Connect my dots. Now, I'm also going to take this one and put that one in red and start at 4, and my slope here is -1/1. So I go up 1, 2, 3, 4 because we always again start on the y-axis, and then go down 1, right 1, and I'm going to keep doing it till I get to my solution right there. Connect those dots and look at that. That is 3, 1. Okay, I'm just going to show some work below to check that. So again, this is x and y, so I plug them into x and y here, and I get 1 equals 3 minus 2. Sure enough, that works. But for the second equation, when I plug it in, I get 1 in here equals -3 plus 4. And if you plug that into your calculator, -3 plus 4 is 1, and it works. So there's my answer. Again, I'll say it, 3, 1. Okay. Last one here. Okay, this video is at about 5 minutes, so it should be a couple more minutes. So again, I've got two equations, 2x plus y equals 5, and then I've also got 3x minus 2y equals 4. And I'm going to solve each of these for y, which again always means the same thing. Get rid of the x by doing the opposite. Y equals -2x plus 5. And then divide by the number next to y, which in this case there's nothing there. So this is just my equation. On the second one, again, get rid of the x by doing the opposite. Rewrite the equation, -3x plus 4. Again, you can't combine x's and 4's and tell me it's 7x or 7. The x doesn't go away, and it's not on that one. Don't combine them. And then always divide by the number that's next to y. Now, again, dividing by 1 here just resulted in that. Dividing by -2 here, carefully what we have here. A negative divided by a negative is a positive 3/2 x. If you wrote this as negative over negative, you'd still do the right thing on here. You'd be fine. That's okay. And positive divided by a negative here gives you that. There's my slope and y-intercept. There's my slope and y-intercept. Let's go graph these. So for the black line, it's at -2. Matter of fact, again, I'm going to do that in red. Right there. Go up 3, right 2. Up 3, right 2. Up 3, right 2. I'm going to then, again, if it was negative over negative, I'd go down 3, left 2. So I'm going to do that a couple more times, and there's my line. I will leave rulers out so you have straight edges, because this sometimes can be a lot easier. Sometimes you can be off a little bit if you don't use a straight edge. I'm just kind of good at this because I've been doing this for years. Y'all know me. All right, so for this blue line again, we start at 5 of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go down 2, right 1, down 2, right 1. Boom, there it is. Right, I don't have to continue here because I see my point right here at 2, 1. Seems like 1 shows up a lot. That's not always the case. It just happens to be the examples, okay? But again, let's check 2, 1 by plugging them in here. So for this line, I would have 2 times 2 plus 1 equals 5, right? 2 times x plus y equals 5. Sure enough, that works. And then 3 times 2 minus 2 times 1, does that equal 4? And sure enough, 6 minus 2 would give me 4. So it works. So again, I'm going to write my answer back down here. It is 2, 1. All right, so that's how we do our work today. You have a homework here that is 5.1b. So the homework, which now that you have this all filled out, you can grab this from the sub, is 5.1b, number 1 through 10. It's kind of shorter than most of our assignments have been. If you look on the back page, it's only like half of it. And one of them is like a really easy problem. The other ones shouldn't be that bad anymore, knowing what we know. So do your thing today. Behave yourself, please. Don't end up on my sub-plans. And just work through the homework. You can finish this for sure by the end of the hour and probably get back to yesterday's if you did not turn in homework 5.1a. Have a good day. See you tomorrow. Bye.